Hi there, and welcome back to The Bridge. If it's your first time here, my name is Lindy, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you are having a great week. And if you're not, I hope it only gets better and improves from here. And remember, maybe to do something to make it a better week. So maybe you could do something fun with friends, or to, I don't know, give yourself a treat, or I don't know, do something that you would enjoy in order to ensure that it ends up being a much better week. So, today we're carrying on with the group work series, group work in university, and today we're talking about peer assessment review. Let me explain what a peer assessment review is. It could go by a different name at your institution, but basically it gives the members in your group work the opportunity to assess you and your contribution to the group. So basically, each of you will be given, it usually happens online, but you have access to a rubric, and there's different criteria that you'll be marking your other group members on. I forgot exactly what that criteria is. I tried looking up online what that criteria is, but couldn't find anything like we had in university. But overall, the intention is just to assess that the other members were proactive in the group and did contribute sufficiently to the end result, which is the assignment that was submitted. Most of the time, from my experience, the marks that your other members give you does not count towards the final mark. If the lecturer observes that there is one member who has been scored very low by the other members in the group, then maybe that could be a cause to investigate or to question the other members, to say, hey, why was this member marked so low? I haven't been in situations like that, but I would assume that in those situations, then there would be an effect on the mark that that group member gets, and maybe their marks would be significantly lowered. However, I have been in situations where a lecturer will, for example, say, okay, 90% of the mark for this assignment is the mark that I give you. 10% of the mark for this assignment will be from your colleagues, from your other members. But that's just to note that in some modules, in some circumstances, the peer assessment review does affect the mark that you get for your final assignment. Now, I just want to use the rest of the video to talk about my personal approach, how I view and how I approach the peer assessment reviews, and just to talk about my experiences and how I've done peer assessment reviews in the past, how I've used them, how I've marked other members. The first thing is, the peer assessment review is not a place to accomplish personal vendettas. In other words, peer assessment review isn't about how much you dislike someone or how much you like them. It's not about your preferences, it's not about how your personality didn't gel with someone else. And I'm not speaking about bad behavior. I'm not speaking about someone was blatantly rude or disrespectful, or they were shouting, or that's not what I'm talking about, because that does need to be addressed. And I believe that there should be place in the peer assessment review to mark down a behavior like that. And it should probably be addressed by the lecturer as well. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you are in a group, and there's bound to be very different personalities in one group, but if you're in a group and there's someone that you don't really gel with, or you have a different outlook on how things should be done, and sometimes your personalities clash, and this wouldn't be someone that you would typically become friends with or typically communicate with, that is not reason to now go onto a peer assessment review and to mark them down because you just didn't like them. Approach it professionally, all right? And which leads me to my second point, is the way that I approach how I assess other group members is I approach it with 100%. So when we walk into our first meeting for the first time, everyone has 100% from my perspective. What you do from then only lowers that mark, right? And the things that I use to assess is, first of all, did you submit your work? Did you submit your work, and was there quality effort? And by quality effort, I don't mean that everything has to be 100% right and there were no spelling mistakes, no grammar mistakes, no, research errors or nothing. What I mean by good work is there was just good effort. Like, you could see that this person spent time doing research, reading the cases, reading the textbook, trying to understand the concepts, and they spent time, not like 100 hours or something, but they like but it's not 2 minutes either. Like, they spent time and gave effort towards submitting something that is good, that is okay. I usually just give 100% for that, unless someone just didn't submit anything, or they submitted something that was like clearly done in 2 minutes. The second thing is your attendance and just your proactiveness in terms of meetings and things. And just to clear up, this doesn't mean that you spoke a lot during meetings. And I won't take anything away from people who didn't attend meetings but still communicated with the group, still gave their submission. They just couldn't be physically there for meetings. The third thing that I think a lot of people will generally look at is just your general behavior. And this doesn't mean like you bringing snacks for everyone and giving biscuits to everyone and you're so nice to everyone. No, this just means that there was just like a general respect and cordial behavior. Like you were cordial. Like, you, hi, bye, I'll do this. There was no shouting, there was no belittling or mocking or rudeness or like nothing like that. It was just, you were human to other people. Yeah, so that's personally how I approach, how I assess other group members. I will say that for the most part, and I can't remember how I've assessed every single one of my group members in university, but I would say 99 point, like, let me not go that, but I would say 99.9% of the time I just give everyone 100, which could be a disadvantage because sometimes people who don't deserve 100 do get like 100%, because with majority of students, right, with majority of your group members, people aren't trying to get in each other's way. We all want to pass this module. We're all trying to get this degree. I'm not trying to stand in your way, so please don't try to stand in my way. Like, so you'll find that majority of students in university do want to give other members in their group 100%. Like, no one wants to be marking each other down. But there are those exceptional situations where you have to, and not because you want to, but because if you don't, it would misrepresent what happened in that group, and it would misrepresent, and it would just be unfair to everyone else in the group if you give that person 100%. But we'll speak about that in the next video, which is going to be do's and don'ts in group work. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have anything else to add about peer assessment reviews and how you approach them, what to do, what not to do, your personal opinion and your experiences about peer assessment reviews, please put it in the comments down below. I would love to read it and I will surely respond. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you.